Emma lived in a small town. She knew everyone, and everyone knew her. Emma had a best friend named Jack. They grew up together. Jack was kind and always helped others. Emma thought she knew everything about Jack. They went to school together, played together, and shared secrets. Jack was like a brother to Emma. One sunny day, Emma and Jack decided to go for a walk in the park. They talked about their dreams and plans. Emma wanted to become a teacher. Jack wanted to become a doctor. They laughed and joked. The park was beautiful with flowers and trees. Birds sang sweet songs. As they walked, they saw an old man sitting on a bench. He looked sad. Emma felt sorry for him. She went to the old man and asked, "Are you okay?" The old man looked up and smiled. "I'm fine. Just remembering old times," he said. Emma and Jack sat with him. They listened to his stories about his youth and adventures. The old man introduced himself as Mr. Wilson. He had lived in the town many years ago. Emma and Jack enjoyed his stories. Mr. Wilson told them about a hidden treasure in the town. Emma's eyes sparkled with excitement. "A hidden treasure? Where?" she asked. Mr. Wilson smiled and said, "It's a secret, but I can give you clues." Emma and Jack decided to find the treasure. They thanked Mr. Wilson and promised to visit him again. The first clue led them to the old library. The library was dusty and full of old books. They searched for hours but found nothing. Emma felt tired and discouraged. Jack, however, was determined. "Let's not give up," he said. "We can do this." Jack found an old map hidden in a book. It was the next clue. The map showed a path to the old mill by the river. They followed the map and reached the mill. It was a long journey and they were tired, but their excitement kept them going. The old mill was spooky. Emma felt scared, but Jack held her hand. "We are in this together," he said. They searched the mill and found an old chest. The chest was locked. Emma found a key hidden under a stone. Her hands trembled as she opened the chest. Inside, they found old letters, photographs, and a locket. The letters were from a woman named Clara to a man named John. The photographs showed Clara and John together. Emma noticed something strange. The man in the photographs looked like Jack. She showed the photos to Jack. Jack was shocked. "That's my grandfather," he said. "I didn't know he had a secret love." Emma and Jack read the letters. Clara and John loved each other deeply, but they were separated by fate. Clara moved to another town and John stayed. They promised to meet again, but it never happened. Emma felt sad for Clara and John. Jack was silent. He had never heard about Clara before. Jack decided to visit his grandmother to learn more. His grandmother, Mrs. Thompson, was old but sharp-minded. She was surprised to see the letters and photos. Tears filled her eyes. "Clara was my best friend," she said. "John loved her, but he married me. I knew about their love, but John never spoke of her after we married." Mrs. Thompson told them more about Clara and John. Clara was kind and beautiful. John was brave and loyal. Their love story was a secret buried in time. Emma felt a connection to Clara. Jack felt proud of his grandfather's love story. They decided to honor Clara and John's love. Emma and Jack went back to the old mill. They buried the letters, photos, and locket under a big tree. They placed a small stone with Clara and John's names on it. It was their way of keeping the love story alive. Emma and Jack felt happy. They had discovered something unexpected about someone they thought they knew well. Days passed, and life went back to normal. Emma and Jack often visited Mr. Wilson. They told him about their adventure. Mr. Wilson smiled and said, "Love stories never die." "They live in our hearts," Emma agreed. She had learned that everyone has secrets, and love is a powerful force. Emma became a teacher, and Jack became a doctor. They stayed best friends. They often talked about Clara and John. Their love story inspired them to be kind and brave. Emma realized that knowing someone well doesn't mean knowing everything about them. There are always surprises and secrets. Emma and Jack grew older, but they never forgot their adventure. They shared Clara and John's story with their children and grandchildren. The story became a part of their family history. It taught them about love, courage, and the importance of keeping memories alive. Emma and Jack's friendship grew stronger. They supported each other through thick and thin. Emma felt grateful for Jack's friendship. She knew she could always count on him. Jack felt the same way about Emma. They were like two sides of a coin, different but inseparable. One day, Jack found an old diary in his attic. It belonged to his grandfather, John. The diary was full of stories about Clara. Jack read the diary and felt closer to his grandfather. He shared the diary with Emma. They spent hours reading it together. The diary revealed more about Clara and John's love story. Emma and Jack decided to write a book about Clara and John. They wanted to share their beautiful love story with the world. They spent months working on the book. It was a labor of love. They titled the book Love Never Dies. The book became a bestseller. People from all over the world read Clara and John's story. Emma and Jack were happy. They had honored their ancestors' love story. they had learned that love is timeless and eternal. Emma felt proud of their achievement. Jack felt the same. They knew they had done something meaningful. Years passed, and Emma and Jack grew old. They often sat in the park and talked about their adventures. They remembered Mr. Wilson, the old mill, and the hidden treasure. They felt grateful for the journey they had shared. Emma knew she had found a true friend in Jack. Jack knew he had found the same in Emma. One day, as they sat in the park, Emma said, "Jack, I'm glad we found the hidden treasure. It was more than just letters and photos. It was a story of love and courage." Jack nodded. "Yes, Emma. It taught us that love never dies and memories are precious." Emma smiled. She knew that life is full of surprises. She had learned that knowing someone well doesn't mean knowing everything about them. There are always hidden stories and secrets. Emma felt content. She had lived a beautiful life full of love, friendship, and adventures. Jack held Emma's hand and said, "Thank you, Emma, for being my friend and for sharing this journey with me." Emma squeezed his hand and said, "Thank you, Jack, for being the best friend I could ever have." They sat in the park, surrounded by memories and love. They knew that their friendship was the real treasure they had found. Emma and Jack continued to share their story with others. They inspired many people with Clara and John's love story. They taught people about the power of love and the importance of keeping memories alive. Emma felt happy knowing that she had made a difference. Jack felt the same. As they grew older, Emma and Jack knew that their time was limited. But they were not afraid. They had lived a full life. They had loved, laughed, and cried. They had found unexpected surprises and learned valuable lessons. Emma felt at peace. Jack felt the same. One winter morning, Emma passed away peacefully in her sleep. Jack was heartbroken, but he knew Emma would always be with him in spirit. He continued to share their story with others. He knew that Emma's legacy would live on through Clara and John's love story. Jack lived the rest of his life cherishing the memories of his friendship with Emma. He knew he had found something unexpected and beautiful. Emma had taught him that love never dies and memories are precious. Jack felt grateful for the journey they had shared. As Jack grew older, he often visited the old mill and the big tree where they had buried Clara and John's letters. He felt a sense of peace and connection. Jack knew that love stories never die. They live on in our hearts and memories. Jack passed away a few years later. He was buried next to Emma. Their graves were marked with a simple stone that read, "Best friends forever." People from the town often visited their graves and remembered their beautiful friendship and the love story of Clara and John. Emma and Jack's story became a legend in the town. It was a story of friendship, love, and unexpected surprises. It taught people that knowing someone well doesn't mean knowing everything about them. There are always hidden stories and secrets waiting to be discovered. The town built a small memorial in the park where Emma and Jack used to sit. It was a place where people came to remember their story and feel inspired. The memorial had a plaque that read, "Love never dies, Emma and Jack's legacy lived on through the love story of Clara and John and their own beautiful friendship." Emma and Jack's story became a part of the town's history. It was a reminder that life is full of surprises and that love is a powerful force. People from all over the world came to visit the town and learn about their story. Emma and Jack's friendship continued to inspire and touch the hearts of many. The story of Emma and Jack and the love story of Clara and John became timeless. It was a story that taught people about the importance of love, friendship, and keeping memories alive. Emma and Jack's legacy lived on, reminding everyone that love never dies and that true friendship is the greatest treasure of all. Emma was a kind and cheerful little girl. She lived in a small village with her parents and younger brother Sam. Every day, she helped her mother in the kitchen, played with her friends, and went to school. Emma loved school. She enjoyed reading books and learning new things. Emma's best friend was Anna. They spent a lot of time together, playing in the fields and sharing stories. Emma also loved visiting her grandmother, who lived in a small house at the edge of the village. Grandma always had wonderful stories to tell about her childhood and the adventures she had. One day, while Emma was playing near the river, she saw a little puppy. The puppy was wet and shivering. Emma felt sorry for the puppy and took it home. She named him Buddy. Emma's parents agreed to let her keep Buddy, and soon, Buddy became a part of their family. Emma and Buddy were inseparable. They played together, went on long walks, and Buddy even accompanied Emma to school. Emma's friends loved Buddy too. He was a happy and playful puppy, and he brought joy to everyone around him. Emma had a dream. She wanted to become a teacher when she grew up. She loved helping others learn and wanted to share her knowledge with children. Emma's parents supported her dream and encouraged her to study hard. One evening, Emma was sitting with her grandmother, listening to another one of her stories. Grandma talked about how important it was to follow one's dreams and never give up, no matter how hard things might get. Emma felt inspired and promised herself that she would work hard to make her dream come true. One morning, Emma's father came home with some news. He had found a job in the city, and the family would be moving there soon. Emma felt a mix of excitement and sadness. She had never been to the city before, but she didn't want to leave her friends and her village. The day of the move came quickly. Emma said goodbye to Anna, her school, and her grandmother. She promised to write letters and visit whenever she could. With a heavy heart, she left the village with her family and Buddy. The city was big and noisy. Emma felt overwhelmed at first, but her parents helped her adjust. She started going to a new school where she made new friends. Emma missed her village and Anna, but she was determined to make the best of her new life. Emma's new school was different. The teachers were strict and the lessons were harder. But Emma worked hard and soon caught up. She even joined a book club where she met other children who loved reading as much as she did. One day, Emma was walking home from school when she saw a group of children teasing a little boy. The boy was crying, and Emma felt sorry for him. She went over and told the children to stop. They left, and Emma helped the boy up. His name was Tom. He was new to the school and didn't have any friends. Emma and Tom quickly became friends. Tom loved reading too, and they spent a lot of time together, talking about their favorite books. Summer came, and Emma's family decided to visit their village. Emma was excited to see Anna and her grandmother again. When they arrived, Emma ran to her grandmother's house. But when she got there, she saw something that shocked her. Her grandmother looked very ill. She was lying in bed, looking weak and pale. Emma's parents explained that Grandma had been sick for a while but didn't want to worry them. Emma felt tears in her eyes. She loved her grandmother very much and couldn't bear to see her like this. Emma spent every day with her grandmother, listening to her stories and taking care of her. Grandma told Emma how proud she was of her and how she knew Emma would become a great teacher one day. Emma promised to work hard and make her grandmother proud. One night, Grandma held Emma's hand and told her a final story. It was about a little girl who never gave up on her dreams. The next morning, Emma's grandmother passed away. Emma was heartbroken. She cried for days, feeling a deep emptiness inside her. Emma's parents comforted her and reminded her of Grandma's words. Emma knew she had to be strong. She remembered her promise to her grandmother and decided to work even harder to achieve her dream. Back in the city, Emma threw herself into her studies. She joined more clubs, made new friends, and even started tutoring younger children. She missed her grandmother every day, but felt her presence guiding her. Years passed, and Emma grew up. She graduated from high school with top honors and got into a prestigious university. She studied education and worked part-time as a tutor. Emma's dream of becoming a teacher was closer than ever. One day, while Emma was studying in the library, she found an old book. It was dusty and looked very old. Inside, there was a letter. The letter was addressed to her. Emma was shocked and opened it. The letter was from her grandmother. It talked about how proud she was of Emma and how she knew Emma would achieve great things. Grandma also mentioned a secret she had kept all these years. Emma's great-grandmother was a famous teacher who had inspired many children. The book Emma found belonged to her. Emma felt a deep connection to her great-grandmother. She read the book and learned about her life, her struggles, and her triumphs. Emma felt inspired and more determined than ever to follow in her footsteps. With the support of her family and friends, Emma graduated from university and became a teacher. She started working at a small school in the city, where she helped children learn and grow. Emma loved her job and felt fulfilled every day. One day, Emma received a letter from Anna. Anna had moved to the city too and wanted to meet up. Emma was thrilled. They met at a cafe and caught up on old times. Anna was amazed at how much Emma had achieved and told her how proud she was of her. Anna also had some news. She was getting married and wanted Emma to be her maid of honor. Emma felt tears in her eyes, but this time they were tears of joy. She was happy for her friend and excited to be a part of her special day. Emma's life was full of love and happiness. She had a job she loved, friends who cared about her, and memories of her grandmother that kept her going. She often visited her village and her grandmother's house, where she felt a deep sense of peace. One evening, Emma was sitting in her grandmother's old room, reading the book she had found years ago. She felt a warm presence beside her and knew her grandmother was with her. Emma whispered a thank you and promised to continue making her proud. Emma realized that the most important lesson her grandmother had taught her was to never give up on her dreams. She had faced many challenges, but had overcome them with determination and love. Emma knew she had a long way to go, but she was ready for whatever life had in store. She looked at the stars and remembered her grandmother's words, "Follow your heart, and you will find your way." Emma smiled, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and love. She knew her journey was just beginning, and she was ready to embrace it with open arms. Emma continued to teach and inspire her students. She wrote a book about her experiences and dedicated it to her grandmother. The book became a bestseller, and Emma was invited to speak at schools and conferences. She shared her story and encouraged others to follow their dreams. Emma's life was filled with joy and fulfillment. She had found her purpose and was living it every day. She knew her grandmother was watching over her, proud of the woman she had become. Emma's heart was full of love, and she was ready to face the future with courage and hope. Years later, Emma was visiting her village again. She went to her grandmother's house and found an old box hidden in the attic. Inside, there were letters, photographs, and a diary. Emma opened the diary and began to read. To her surprise, she discovered that her grandmother had a secret. She had been a teacher too, but due to circumstances, she had to give up her career. The diary revealed her struggles, sacrifices, and the love she had for her family. Emma felt a deep connection to her grandmother. She realized that her grandmother's dream had lived on through her. Emma's journey had come full circle. She was not only living her own dream, but also fulfilling her grandmother's. Emma felt tears in her eyes, but they were tears of joy and gratitude. She whispered a thank you to her grandmother and promised to continue the legacy. Emma knew that her grandmother's love and strength would always be with her, guiding her every step of the way. Emma continued to teach and inspire children, just like her grandmother had done. She opened a school in her village and named it after her grandmother. The school became a place of learning and love, where children could dream big and achieve their goals. Emma's story touched the hearts of many. She received letters from people all over the world, thanking her for sharing.